Hi, I'm Katie J. Simmons, e-commerce specialist from Fit Small Business, and today we're going to be doing an in-depth review of Fulfillment by Amazon, commonly known as FBA. We'll cover everything you need to know about FBA, including how it works, the services and features offered, when to use it, and pricing info. To read all of this info and more, check out our FBA review article that's linked down in the description. Starting off with an overview of FBA, it's a third party logistics company that provides multi channel order fulfillment services specifically geared towards Amazon sales. So essentially, it's a service provided by Amazon that delivers outsourced storage, packaging, and shipping for e commerce sellers. FBA operates out of a warehouse network of 185 warehouses in total. 110 of those are distributed across the United States, and the 75 other locations are positioned throughout the world. One of the most notable features of this service is that every Amazon order shipped by FBA is Prime eligible. So by using FBA for fulfillment, your products receive this coveted Prime badge on your listing. You're likely familiar with it. This badge is a major sales driver. A few things every seller should be aware of right off the bat. FBA has a complex pricing policy that can result in surprise charges very easily if you're not careful. It also has costly storage fees that fluctuate seasonally, as well as packaging and labeling requirements that need to be met when your goods arrive at FBA. If they are not, your merchandise is subject to either rejection or unplanned prep fees. So, who should consider using FBA? It's best for Amazon sellers or Amazon focused multi channel sellers, and this is thanks to the significant platform advantages that FBA gives you. We'll go into more detail on those benefits later on. It's a good service for processing small and lightweight products. FBA's pricing structure definitely favors manageable and generally easy to ship goods, and it even offers a small and light program that gives discounted fulfillment fees for products that fit the description. FBA is best for inventory with quick turnover. If your goods sell quickly, you'll be able to avoid FBA's expensive storage fees by maintaining healthy inventory levels through frequent stock replenishment. Unlike other third party fulfillment services, this is a practical approach with FBA because the company does not charge any fees for inbound shipment receiving. It's a great choice for developing small businesses, so if you've outgrown an in house fulfillment operation but don't have the resources to set up and operate your own independent warehouse, outsourced fulfillment in general is an excellent option at that point. The same goes for customer service capabilities, which can be very pricey to outsource and time consuming to handle on your own. Lastly, we recommend FBA for brick and mortar stores who wish to expand online. It offers a convenient and all inclusive means of expanding into e commerce, so owners can continue to focus on retail sales while FBA handles their online orders. There are plenty of circumstances when FBA isn't the best choice as well, starting with multi channel sellers. So, FBA is compatible with multi channel sales, but it's not cost effective unless Amazon is your primary marketplace. For sellers that focus their business on other platforms, such as your own e commerce website, but still want to reach Amazon customers for a small percentage of sales, there are other more cost effective options, and we will explain those later on. Oversized or heavy products can be very costly to fulfill with FBA's pricing structure. There are more specialized fulfillment partners out there that have an entire business model that's tailored to bulky products. So, with them, your shipping discounts will be deeper and your fulfillment fees will be lower. An example of this is Red Stag Fulfillment, whose facility is pictured here on the left. If you sell goods that require certain types of special handling, using FBA is a bit of a risk. The company has climate control in some of its warehouses, but it's not guaranteed that your temperature sensitive goods will be stored in the proper environment. On top of that, FBA imposes restrictions on most FDA regulated products. So we would recommend going with an actual FDA certified 3PL, such as ShipBob, for sensitive or otherwise regulated items. Well-established fulfillment operations. So if your business is developed to the point of having its own logistics and or customer service team in place, using FBA may not be worthwhile for you. The same applies if you're able to mitigate the expenses involved in fulfilling your own orders. As we'll explain more later, using FBA isn't the only way to get Prime designation. You can participate in the Seller Fulfilled Prime program, so that you can accomplish that on your own or by using a different fulfillment partner. And that ties into our last concept here. If you already work with a different third party fulfillment provider, or if you find one that's better suited for your business needs than FBA is, they may be able to fulfill your Amazon orders for you, whether through Seller Fulfilled Prime or on the Fulfillment by Merchant program. And we'll have more info on those coming up later on. Here's a high-level overview of the FBA lifecycle. It begins when you send inventory to an Amazon warehouse, where your goods are received and stored. Then customers place orders, which are routed to FBA, where the items are picked, packed up, and shipped out. Then in the post-sale territory, FBA also provides customer service for the sale and handles customer returns if need be. Taking a closer look at each of the steps in this process, it begins with inbound shipping and receiving. You'll enroll in FBA and manage your FBA products on your Amazon seller account. You can find those tools in the inventory tab. And once you're on board, you'll send your products to an FBA warehouse. Usually merchandise is sent directly from your supplier or from your port of destination to FBA, and you can distribute goods throughout multiple warehouses around the country or around the world. From there, FBA sorts your products and makes sure that packaging requirements are met, then moves everything into storage. If your products are not properly prepped with the correct packaging and the correct labeling, FBA will either reject your goods or repackage them at your expense. The next piece of the operation is storage, where most of your inventory is kept in bulk. Small portions of that inventory may be held in accessible locations positioned near FBA's packaging station so that the employees can efficiently pick popular items that come up frequently in orders. And certain types of products may be kept in specialized storage. Some FBA warehouses are capable of accommodating security or climate needs, but that being said, it can be a little bit iffy. Another warehousing snag with FBA is that inventory is commingled at this point, which means identical products from different sellers are pooled together in storage. So when a customer orders your product from your Amazon listing, it's entirely possible that they'll receive a product from a completely different seller. And if that seller just so happens to deal in counterfeit goods or has lower quality standards for their products than you do, you can easily end up with some very upset customers. And unfortunately, that is not an uncommon scenario at FBA. Moving on to the third major step, order fulfillment. Your orders are routed to the FBA warehouse with your product in stock that is nearest to the customer that ordered it. And this step is automated by Amazon itself. The FBA employees then pick those items from storage, pack up the order, and ship it out. Amazon orders are shipped by Amazon Logistics with the famous blue vans. They receive 1-day or 2-day prime shipping, although multi-channel orders can be sent out with other couriers like FedEx or UPS for a 5% surcharge. Lastly, there's customer service and returns processing. If your customers receive your goods and need assistance, they can contact Amazon 24 hours a day through live chat, email, or phone. This service is known for being very accessible and very customer-oriented, which leads to great satisfaction rates. If your customer returns an order, FBA will receive the return and handle it by either discarding the goods or restocking them, and that depends on the specifications that you set with them beforehand. The company also manages refund payments after the return is received. Let's look at the pros and cons of FBA. Prime designation and fast shipping for all of your orders is definitely one of the biggest draws of the service, and these factors open you up to a customer base of 200 million Prime subscribers around the world. FBA product listings also perform better in Amazon search results because Amazon's search algorithm prioritizes them over merchant-fulfilled items, even if both are Prime, even if both are comparably priced, even if both have similar reviews, FBA items are always going to win that race. You'll get post-sales servicing included in your order fulfillment, as we discussed, which saves astronomical amounts of time and money. And FBA users can store their inventory in any number of the company's warehouses around the world. There are 185 in total, which is a much larger warehouse network than pretty much any third-party order fulfillment company that you're going to find. On the other hand, FBA has plenty of downsides. First off, by focusing your business on Amazon sales, you're forcing your store to compete with Amazon's own privately labeled products, as well as a myriad of other merchants. And on top of that, Amazon owns and maintains your customer base. So these two things aren't exclusive to FBA, but using other fulfillment partners makes it much easier to pursue other sales channels that don't have these same drawbacks. FBA's pricing structure is very complex and its fees fluctuate all the time, both with temporary seasonal markups as well as annual and periodic price increases. As we mentioned before, there are strict packaging requirements that you have to abide by with FBA, and the commingled or pooled storage system can create problems with your inventory. In addition to all these things, FBA does not disclose an error rate. So, for reference, this is a common metric that's included in service level agreements with a lot of third party fulfillment companies. ShipBob, for example, has a 0.05% error rate that they disclose. So that's 99.95% accuracy in fulfilling orders, with 99.89% of orders shipping out on time. When it comes to FBA, they don't disclose an error or accuracy rate, and errors are frequently reported by both customers and merchants. So it's clear that FBA's accuracy isn't as high as it could be. So, how much does it cost to actually use Fulfillment by Amazon? Here's a look at the bones of the pricing structure, starting with onboarding and account setup, which is free, although your standard Amazon seller fees will continue to incur. Receiving is also completely free as long as packaging and labeling guidelines are met, which is a pretty substantial advantage because it can help you skirt FBA's costly storage fees. As you can see here, they increased dramatically during October, November, and December, jumping from 53 cents per cubic foot on the low end all the way up to $1.20 per cubic foot at minimum during the holidays. On top of that, inventory stored for longer than 270 days incurs an additional long-term storage fee, so it's economical to keep stock coming in as orders are going out. The fulfillment fees that FBA charges include picking, packing, shipping, customer service, and returns, all bundled into one cost. But that charge varies based on a wide range of product attributes. Here's a closer look of the FBA fulfillment fee core pricing structure. You can see that it starts at $2.92 for a standard size unit and increases up to hundreds of dollars or more for oversized products. In addition to these charges and the ones that you've just seen, you may be subject to a range of other FBA costs, including stock removal fees, exceptional return processing fees, and long-term storage fees. And these are important to understand and look out for so that you can keep your fulfillment costs as low as possible. To see a full list and explanation of each of these FBA charges, check out our FBA review article at fitsmallbusiness.com. Moving on, FBA has some very notable features that distinguish it from other 3PLs, such as the FBA Warehouse Network, which the US portion of is shown here. Another key feature is the integrated post-sale servicing, which includes 24/7 customer service, as well as returns and refund processing. The cost of outsourcing this level of support would be huge and likely unmanageable for most small businesses, so that makes it a major benefit of using FBA. As we've mentioned, the automatic Prime eligibility and lightning fast shipping that FBA products receive is highly unique and beneficial, especially for Amazon sellers. There are also other Amazon advantages that you get by using FBA. Amazon's search algorithm, which is called A10, favors FBA items over merchant fulfilled listings, so by using FBA, you're more likely to appear on search results and more likely to win the buy box, as sellers call it. If you're not familiar with this concept, the buy box is the add to cart or buy now button on a product listing that is sold by multiple different sellers. So when customers click add to cart rather than browse all of their buying options, the sale automatically goes to whichever seller has won that buy box. It's another algorithm determined factor, and FBA products have a much better chance at it. It's also worth noting that FBA is built for Amazon sales, but it can be used to fulfill orders from other channels. FBA offers a small and light program that provides a discount for items that are small in size and lightweight, and this allows for better profit margins if you qualify. It's a great feature for sellers who mainly deal in goods that weigh less than 3 pounds, cost less than $8, and measure 18 inches by 14 inches by 8 inches or less. Lastly, the Subscribe and Save program is only available to Amazon sellers who use FBA. When customers opt into it, they receive a discount and free shipping when they sign up for this product subscription, which is a recurring and automated purchase. The option on the listing looks like this. You've likely seen it. It's a great retention tool and one of the best ways to have consistent revenue with Amazon, especially if you sell consumer packaged goods. It's important for your fulfillment partner to be able to integrate with the other tools and platforms that you use to sell, especially if you're a multi channel seller. FBA's proprietary turnkey integrations are pretty limited. All of them that are currently offered by Amazon are listed here. But that being said, it is an enormously popular platform and it has open APIs, so thousands of additional FBA integrations are readily available through other third party developers. So that's the rundown of everything FBA has to offer and how it all works. But another crucial consideration is what FBA users think about the service, which can provide some really helpful insight into how the company may or may not work for you. We looked through every review of FBA that's available online and investigated the places that Amazon sellers discuss FBA, such as the Amazon Services seller forums. Here's a summary of the general consensus. Users like that they can outsource end-to-end processes to FBA, which eliminates a lot of the hassle of selling online and frees up significant amounts of time. They also appreciate the fast Prime shipping and efficient turnaround times, which has a big impact on customer satisfaction and for many users ultimately led to an improved customer experience all around. FBA users don't like that the pricing fluctuates frequently, as well as product categorization that fluctuates frequently as well. The way your products are categorized impacts how they're fulfilled and how you're charged for it. So, unexpected and uncommunicated charges can easily result in a nasty surprise on your bill, and it appears that this happens somewhat frequently. An unfortunate amount of users report lost merchandise and lost shipments, which obviously can become costly issues. Client support is said to be ineffective and incredibly difficult with FBA, and some users went as far as to recommend to avoid dealing with seller support unless it's absolutely necessary. The complicated product restrictions and regulations are another barrier for many sellers, and overall, FBA users find the fees to be unreasonably expensive. If you're thinking that FBA may not be right for you, there are other effective ways to fulfill your Amazon orders. Using FBA is one of 3 methods that Amazon sellers can choose from. The other 2 are listed here on the left. The first is fulfillment by merchant, or FBM, in which the seller is responsible for all aspects of order fulfillment, plus handling returns and providing customer service. With this system, there are no strict packaging or delivery speed requirements, but not all FBM orders are Prime eligible. In fact, many of them are not. The other option is Seller Fulfilled Prime, or SFP, in which the seller is similarly responsible for the entire fulfillment process and post-sale servicing, but the big difference is that each order does qualify for Prime with this system. In order to be eligible, there are some requirements, so a certain percentage of your shipping labels must be purchased through Amazon, and your orders must ship on the same day with guaranteed 2-day delivery. So how do you actually perform these alternatives? You can choose to ship to Amazon customers yourself by performing in-house fulfillment, which is typically done in a room of your house, in your garage, or in a rented unit. In the system, you manage your inventory and order fulfillment either independently or with the help of hired staff, which makes this option difficult to scale but ideal for sellers who need to really tightly control costs. The other choice is to ship to Amazon customers using third-party order fulfillment other than FBA. And this can be done through companies like ShipBob or Red Stag Fulfillment. There are many others out there. These companies are specifically designed to manage inventory and perform fulfillment on behalf of sellers, so they have immense dedicated infrastructure and it makes them highly scalable and generally hassle-free. Many fulfillment companies other than FBA specialize in Amazon sales as well and are Seller Fulfilled Prime compatible, but using these alternatives makes it much more realistic to pursue other sales channels in addition to Amazon. This option is ideal for multi-channel sellers who receive just a minority of their sales from Amazon. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you need further info on FBA or tips for selling on Amazon, head over to fitsmallbusiness.com for more useful content, and happy selling.